This day in history, in 1991, Hurricane Bob makes landfall in the Ocean State. The Category 2 storm first barrels through Block Island, then moved onshore to Newport. It was the last one to directly hit the Ocean State.
Chief Meteorologist Tony Petracca joins us now with a look back at this storm. Tony, what do you recall most? What's vividly in your mind from Hurricane Bob?
How fast the storm accelerates. So in other words, the storm formed near the Bahamas, and then just a couple of days later it was just racing up the coastline. So not a lot of time to prepare, and it's usually the case with approaching tropical systems here in New England. They tend to accelerate very rapidly. They're in the morning and then they're gone by evening. But you know, the last significant hurricane, as you mentioned, to make landfall 30 years ago, made actually two landfalls. First the eye went over Newport, Rhode Island, then it actually Block Island. Then it passed over Newport, Rhode Island about 30 minutes later, and then accelerating into down east and coastal Maine. As far as wind gusts, Chatham gusting to 115 miles per hour. Block Island had a gust of 105. 12 fatalities in New England. The damage for the entire East Coast, well, for southern New England, it was over $600 million in damage, but for the entire East Coast, $1.5 billion. And a lot of rain, too. Foster picking up about 7 inches of rain, and it's usually what side of the storm you're on dictates how much rain and how much wind you get. And you know, we average, you know, roughly every 25 to 30 years a landfalling hurricane. So you talk, you know, about being overdue as far as the next landfalling hurricane, and why we watch, of course, this time of year, Mike and Kim, very closely, and certainly with Henri that's out in the Atlantic, we're watching the situation closely as well. Before Bob, you have to go back to the 1960s with, I believe, Hurricane Donna. So it's been a while, and the last major hurricane, we're talking about a hurricane of Category 3 or higher, you have to go back into the 1950s with Hurricane Carol.
Yeah, that wiped out a lot of beach houses on that storm. Tony, you've seen a lot of storms 30-plus years now. You were actually on the air when Bob hit. Take us through that. What's that like when you're trying to get all that information out?
Yeah, you know, obviously in situations like that, the weather department is 24 hours and no sleep. I remember being on the air for 18 straight hours and a lot of coffee. And, you know, certainly, you know, team coverage. We were all over the storm 30 years ago. Our teams lined up along the coastline getting some of these pictures at a safe distance. But, you know, all hands on deck, obviously, in situations like this. Category 2 hurricane doesn't happen very often. You can see that's the storm surge, and that's one of the most dangerous parts of a hurricane. Quite simply, as the wind is pushing the ocean water towards the coastline, it rises rapidly, and you get that flooding, and that is called the storm surge, and that can be pretty significant. One of the worst storm surges in really U.S. history was not just Hurricane Carol, but the 1938 hurricane, that surge coming up Narragansett Bay.
And Tony, you know, we're talking about the data from much earlier in record keeping, and the fact that it's been 30 years since we've had a direct hit from a hurricane. What are the odds that we're going to see another direct hit? I know you're tracking some potential for that coming up in just a couple of days. You know,
based on climatology, as I mentioned earlier, you know, roughly every 25 to 30 years we average a landfalling storm. So, you know, we're overdue. I say that with caution. We never want, obviously, that cycle to repeat itself. But we are watching Henri, tropical storm, very closely. So let's take a look at conditions right now. Speaking of the tropics, the moisture that came through today was tropical in nature. It was once a tropical storm. It was once Tropical Storm Fred, bringing in some of those downpours, very high humidity in place, leading to some dense fog along the coastline right now. So very muggy. And looking at New Bedford right now, it is relatively calm. We're going to talk more about Henri in just a second. The timetable that we're concerned about is the latter part of the weekend on Sunday. So here's how it breaks down. Our threat tracker now through Friday and Saturday, that time period, I don't see any storminess or threats from Henri. It's really towards Sunday and into early on Monday. So watching that very closely. And the best case scenario would keep the storm offshore. Obviously, that would minimize the impacts of rain and wind. But even with a track off the coastline, the surf is going to be exceptionally strong this weekend. Both the rip currents and very heavy surf beginning Saturday, extending into Sunday, and more than likely Monday as well. So this circulation right in here, once Tropical Storm Fred, now up in northern New England, it did prompt a tornado warning in northeastern Connecticut and parts of central Massachusetts this afternoon. That system is pulling away. Still a few leftover showers behind it, nothing really significant, but 1 or 2 showers can't be ruled out this evening. As we take you into Friday morning at 7 a.m. It's a blend of both clouds and hazy sunshine. Small chance, see little blips of green of an isolated shower, but it's a mainly dry day. Dry meaning no rain, but very humid and warm too. Looking at temperatures between 80 and 85. Take you on to the central Atlantic, and this is still Tropical Storm Henri, not a hurricane yet. The winds now coming in, holding at 70 miles per hour. Here's the Carolina coastline. It is moving to the west at 10 miles per hour. And the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. Now, the new update is coming in about 30 minutes, so you want to check back with us. But this is Sunday morning at 8 a.m., and then by Monday morning, 8 a.m., you see the center of the storm tracking towards the Outer Cape and Nantucket. Now, this gray area represents the envelope of other possibilities. In other words, the center of the storm could track as far west as Hartford, or in the best-case scenario, as far east as well out to sea. So, unfortunately, in this time frame, we're still 48 to 60 hours out. There's still a lot of wiggle room either to the left or to the right as far as where the storm makes landfall. Bottom line, have a plan in place just in case. The potential is there that the storm draws close enough to make landfall somewhere in southeastern Massachusetts. They're going to obviously watch the situation very closely. As far as the probability of tropical storm force winds, in other words, winds sustained at 40 miles per hour, the chances in red now up to 80% for Cape Cod and the islands. And for Providence Metro, the probabilities of getting winds of at least 40 miles per hour now increasing to 60%. And this would be on Sunday. Along with that, very rough surf. The wave heights increasing both Saturday and Sunday. Dangerous rip currents and very heavy surf at area beaches. So here's our breaks down with the forecast. Looking at generally partly sunny skies both Friday and Saturday. Both of these days are relatively quiet. And then all eyes on Sunday into Monday, specifically Sunday morning through Monday morning, with potential impacts from Henri. The hurricane hunters are flying into the storm right now. New data from the Hurricane Center, Kim, coming up in the next roughly 30 to 45 minutes. A new forecast track will be coming out, and it's still too close for comfort, and more than likely some impacts here felt by Sunday.
Okay, we know you will be watching it closely, and we'll be watching what you're telling us very closely.
The whole team.
All right, Tony, thanks. We'll